This is CBC Vancouver News.
Two-minute warning could mean saving their life.
After an earthquake rattles southwestern BC, many wonder why they did not get alerts from Canada's warning system. Plus,
always have a grab-and-go bag and a 72-hour kit at home. That really helps.
As much of the South Coast gets hit with heavy rain, high winds, and warm temperatures, officials are warning people to be prepared. And
I don't know what it means when a community can't tell its stories anymore, when there's no record of our day-to-day.
3 local news websites are shutting down in Metro Vancouver because of financial challenges. What the loss will mean for the communities. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Yasmine Ghania. A day after an earthquake shook southwestern BC, questions are being raised about why some people didn't receive an alert from Canada's warning system. As Pinky Wong reports, the issue is especially alarming for those with disabilities.
It started to shake as I came back to the counter.
Penny Greening was recalling the moment when the earthquake happened. She says her daughter recently learned about earthquake preparedness at school and was quick to act.
I did not get an alert to duck, cover, and hold. Thankfully, she reminded me that that's what you're supposed to do. I got the alert at 1:41 p.m., which was well over 10 minutes beyond the shaking stopping.
Greening says it was concerning that she was the only one who got the alert on her phone, but not her husband or daughter.
2 minutes warning could mean saving their life.
In White Rock, Susan Baines also did not get an alert.
Here, the whole couch was shaking. Everything around me was shaking, and I would have to transfer him to my chair to get out.
She says the experience was scary.
We would be really stuck because either if I went out of my chair and went onto the floor under a table or something that would cover me, now I'm going to be stuck because I can't get up into the chair myself.
Receiving a warning would help people with mobility issues to better respond to similar events, the advocate says.
Then at least when you are alerted, you know right away, okay, this is an earthquake. It wasn't a truck. It wasn't a nearby crash that made you shake. So you know to go into that mode of, okay, earthquake plan, preparedness.
In a statement, Natural Resources Canada says it will be investigating why some people didn't receive alerts. It says for an alert to be issued, the quake has to be of a magnitude greater than 5. A civil engineer professor says the alert system is critical to reducing damage and injuries.
We can shut off traffic to the bridge. So we can turn the traffic lights off, divert people off. We can shut people not going to the tunnel. Things like that could happen. We can potentially trigger shut off a gas line just so that we don't cause fire after earthquake.
The Ministry of Emergency Management and Climate Readiness says the earthquake that was felt by thousands in the South Coast was a strong reminder of the importance of being prepared and having a plan. Pinky Wong, CBC News, North Vancouver.
The Victoria Police Department says officers could be in schools by the end of the school year.
I'm hopeful that before the end of this school year that we'll have some sort of police presence in school with support of the district.
The police chief says discussions about bringing back the school police liaison program are underway. The Greater Victoria School District ended the program in 2023, saying the presence of police officers in schools could cause discomfort for Black and Indigenous students. BC's Education Minister says she has appointed a special advisor to help the district come up with a revised plan that's responsive to the needs of the community. 3 Metro Vancouver community news websites have announced they are set to close. Glacier Media's Burnaby Now and the New Westminster Record will close no later than April 21st, and the Tri-City News will close by May 21st. A statement says Glacier Media explored all possible options to maintain operations, but the industry's ongoing financial challenges have made it unsustainable. It says it has been a privilege and an honor to serve the community for more than 40 years. New Westminster's mayor says he's worried about the effect the closures will have on his community and others in the region.
I think it takes away space where people can actually get accurate information, and it's going to make it more difficult for people to understand and interpret what is accurate information and what isn't. The Record, they told our stories. They wrote a lot of stories in this city. I didn't always agree with their editorial take all the time, but that's good. I'm an elected official. I shouldn't. But they're not there to serve me. They're there to serve the community.
The three publications spent decades as print newspapers, but moved to online only in 2023. A new report from the Canadian Chamber of Commerce says some BC border communities could be most impacted if Donald Trump follows through on his tariff threats. As Saurabh Sandhu tells us, the data shows those communities are heavily dependent on cross-border trade, and the tariffs could mean catastrophic losses for some businesses in those areas.
Esther DeWold has been running a retractable screen business in Abbotsford for almost 33 years now.
Approximately 87% of our products are shipped across the border into the United States.
She says her company has cut down its work week from 5 to 4 days for production because she expects demand to drop as her U.S. customers are getting nervous.
We're facing a March 4th now looming deadline of 25% on all Canadian goods going across the line. And then, of course, on March 12th, the pending steel and aluminum, additional 25%.
DeWold is not the only business owner who is concerned for her future in this border town. This business advocate says the city is an export community.
There are over 300 different exporting businesses that are operating right here in Abbotsford, and that actually provides about $1.5 billion in economic activity in this community alone. A lot of those exporters have their primary trading partner with the United States, actually upwards of 90% of them.
The Canadian Chamber of Commerce says it looked at data from 41 cities across Canada to assess how much each city exports to the U.S.
As far as Mission Abbotsford, ranked 15th out of 41 cities we looked at. It was just shy of $1.5 billion in goods exported to the U.S., which means $7,000 per capita.
In Abbotsford, it's agriculture, and a lot of that industry is reliant on the American marketplace. Here on our side of the river, it's lumbering, it's added value lumber products, and it's logistics and trucking. So all of those industries are going to be intertwined, and they're going to be affected by tariffs.
On Friday, Ottawa announced it will remove more than half of the federal internal trade barriers in a move to make Canada less reliant on the United States.
I think it's a really good time for all of us as Canadians to consider our role, especially as entrepreneurs in business, to consider our dependency on certain markets and to realize that diversification is extremely important.
DeWold says she's concerned about what the potential tariffs could mean for her more than 180 employees. Saurabh Sandhu, CBC News, Abbotsford.
Hundreds gathered in the downtown east side to raise funds and walk in the rain in support of people experiencing homelessness.
We're going to walk through the downtown east side for 5 kilometers. It is very rainy. It might not be the coldest night of the year for Vancouver, but it certainly is uncomfortable. And the purpose of this event and happening at night is in some small way for people to feel a bit of discomfort in a way that our unhoused neighbors have to feel that discomfort every single evening.
The coldest night of the year is a national fundraiser supporting local charities. Organizers raised concerns about Vancouver Mayor Ken Sim's upcoming motion to halt supportive housing.
It means to stop the on-site services for our most vulnerable, and that means those people who are living with substance use disorders, complex mental health issues, those living in extreme poverty. This motion is suggesting to stop supportive housing.
Sim has defended the proposed freeze, saying Vancouver carries a disproportionate share of the region's supportive housing. But a leaked draft memo first reported by the Globe and Mail reveals a broader plan laid out last October for the downtown east side. CBC News has also reviewed the memo, which was only given to members of Sim's ABC party. The plan calls for fast-tracking private development approvals and proposes a comprehensive review of nonprofits operating in the downtown east East Side. A section in the original memo also outlines a, quote, reunification roundtable to explore ways to get Indigenous residents to return to their home nations. An updated version of the memo from January doesn't reference Indigenous residents returning home. Vancouver Councillor Rebecca Bly, who was recently booted out of the ABC caucus, says major policy changes should be publicly debated and not quietly circulated among select councillors.
Having any plan happen behind closed doors that then looks like a bit of a slow drip feed in these various policies, I think is not the best way to approach the challenges in the downtown east side.
Sims' chief of staff says the memo was an internal working document meant to inform discussions and explore ideas. Sims' motion is set to be discussed at City Council on Wednesday. A BC nonprofit is on a mission to make winter sports more accessible for Black people. The Snow Rhino Foundation is hosting its first event at Grouse Mountain, where young people are learning to ski.
I remember having my first experience on the mountain, and it was ecstatic that I was so excited, and I was just mind-blown by the new experience, but I was also very intimidated. And then I looked around, and then I didn't see anybody like me, and the experience itself was already intimidating, so with that extra layer. But then I got into it, I was brave, and then I started to talk to a lot of people in my community, and a lot of them stay away from participating in snow sports for that reason alone. So I started to have a vision of making that accessible to people in my community. There's not anyone that looks like me here in this space. And if you're a Black person, when you go to a space and you're the only person there, it makes it a little bit more challenging and a little bit more difficult to navigate that space.
Even though I've lived in a bunch of other countries, I've pretty much lived all my life in Nigeria and moved here at 36 years old. So being springboarded out of that into this is like a different reality. So we're giving Black children and all the Black minorities out there an opportunity to experience this, to make this a part of who they really are, you know, so that they don't feel removed from the sport like I do at the moment.
We surveyed people, and part of their reasons for not doing it is because they don't see themselves or somebody like them doing it. I hope this helps show them that, yes, people who look like you can actually do it.
I am hoping that by us doing this and establishing it, being a first in British Columbia, it really trickles down and it starts to open minds and just communities to the idea of, you know, being able to access different spaces where you would stay away from. Nice. Yeah. Open up. Yeah. There they go.
Competition at a hot chocolate festival in Kamloops is heating up. All this month, local cafes and restaurants are battling it out for the best and most creative recipes. Shelley Joyce went to get a taste of the friendly rivalry.
Oh my God, it's so full, oh my God. Some of these concoctions are boozy. Others are decadent and sweet. All of them are in the running for the best hot chocolate in Kamloops.
My name is Sierra. I am a server at the Chook Eatery. We are currently doing a hot chocolate gelato float. A little bit unique. People are loving it.
I'm going to try your festival hot chocolate.
Customers get the chance to vote on their favorite from a whole variety of restaurants and cafes all over Kamloops. It's a friendly competition, but the baristas are not taking the challenge lightly. You could say the rivalry is getting toasty.
My name is Lanny. I work here at Hebrews Cafe. I'm a barista because it's like a whole process to make them. And so it feels like an experiment. This is our special hot chocolate that we do for the festival. And if you haven't tried it yet, please come and try. It's so good.
The s'mores hot chocolate is a complex mix of chocolate, salt, and sweat on the part of the barista, who follows a lot of intricate steps to get this cup exactly right.
We're gonna just add a pinch of salt because salt helps bring out all the flavor, and so it's not too sweet, right? I think, in my humble opinion, I think our hot chocolate is one of the best. It's so full. Whoever's getting this is gonna be so
We've been trying them all over town. It's a fun thing to do, and we take it as a family outing.
I've had some 1s and I've had some 5s.
These hot chocolate aficionados know their brew. They take their voting very seriously.
I like it. It's like soothing. What's your marking on that?
I can't say.
The Kamloops Hot Chocolate Festival continues through the end of the month. It's a fundraiser for the Mount Paul Community Food Center. To vote or to get a list of participating restaurants, go to their website. Shelley Joyce, CBC News, Kamloops.
Coming up, 2 passengers are suing Delta Airlines for negligence after their plane crashed and rolled upside down near Toronto. We'll bring you the details of those lawsuits after the break. Two passengers on board the Delta Airlines flight that violently crashed and flipped upside down near Toronto are now suing the airline. Nicole Williams has the latest.
Passengers on board Delta Flight 4819 say the airline needs to pay.
Oh, no.
A crash landing that saw the plane catch fire and flip upside down with 80 people on board. 2 lawsuits have now emerged out of the U.S. states of Minnesota and Georgia. One passenger alleging the crash was caused by gross negligence and recklessness of the plane's crew, who were inadequately trained and supervised.
If you watch that landing, that's not a normal landing profile.
Another passenger describes becoming drenched with jet fuel in a burning plane. He's seeking damages of more than $200,000, each lawsuit claiming injuries and emotional distress.
Imagine being through something like that where you crash. It's just, it's been very traumatic for me.
None of the allegations proven in court. Investigators still looking into the cause of the crash. The ripple effect of what happened Monday being felt by more than just those on board. The crash closed 2 of Pearson's busiest runways, and airlines were already trying to play catch up after 2 winter storms recently canceled hundreds of flights.
We are unfortunately canceling all Sunwing outbound flights this afternoon.
Dozens of Sunwing flights out of Toronto and Montreal canceled this week, the airline announcing it needed to prioritize getting stranded passengers abroad home.
Up to this point, they don't know we're gone.
Ely Nafik says he has yet to hear from Sunwing. He was part of a group of 37 from Waterloo, Ontario that became stranded in the Dominican Republic since Monday. Nafik, fed up waiting for Sunwing, paid out of pocket for an alternate flight out.
Every day is Groundhog Day.
This man and his wife opting to wait for the airline to bring them home.
We wake up, we're told to check out of our hotel, and then possibly, go to the airport, but then there's no flight, so then we have to go back to the hotel.
CBC reached out to Sunwing to see how many people it managed to bring home and how many people are still left stranded abroad. We did not receive a response by deadline. Nicole Williams, CBC News, Mississauga, Ontario.
The Vatican says Pope Francis's condition has worsened after he was diagnosed with pneumonia. The Pope was admitted to hospital Friday after experiencing difficulty breathing for several days. The Vatican said on Saturday that his condition remains critical and that he is not out of danger. The Vatican says the Pope also needed blood transfusions. Pope Francis is 88 years old. Here's a live shot of Burrard Inlet facing the North Shore. I'll have your full forecast next. Time now for a look at our BC-wide forecast. Starting with tonight, we're seeing rain across the board, -3 in Dease Lake with periods of light snow, +1 in Fort St. John and a high chance of showers, +3 and rain in Terrace. Down in Kamloops, +5 and rain. It's a similar story in other cities in that area, +5 in Kelowna, +5 in Golden, and +6 in Cranbrook. Temperatures are also high over on the island, +6 in Tofino and +7 in Victoria. Taking a look at tomorrow, more sun on the board, but still many parts of the province will see rain. A chance of flurries or rain showers in Dease Lake, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 7 in Fort St. John, and same thing in Prince George. We'll be seeing warm temperatures in southern BC, cloudy with a high of +11 in Kamloops and a few showers in Kelowna starting in the late afternoon. Over in Metro Vancouver, we'll be getting rain throughout the week and double-digit temperatures. Nominees for the 2025 Juno Awards have been announced, and BC has seen a strong showing in a particular category that may surprise you: metal. 3 of 5 nominees hail from BC. And how excited are they? Almost as much as our own resident metal fan, Lisa Christensen.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm CBC Vancouver's resident metal fan, and I gotta say, I have some very exciting Juno news for you.
Norwegian Black Metal Day.
Every Friday, Dan. Out of the 5 spots for the best hard rock metal album of the year, BC has 3 of them. For those of you who were tricky on math, that's 60% of the category, and they are some pretty amazing artists. The nominated albums are The Fear of the Fear by Spirit Box.
As people that make weird music, it was really cool growing up seeing that on the Junos, it wasn't just all mainstream music that got nominated for major categories. And in fact, some pretty out there, heavy and metal acts have been nominated for major awards, and that's very inspiring to us.
When I was in high school, I was voted most likely to win a Juno, and I've been nominated a couple years ago, but I've never won, so hopefully we'll see if they were right.
Make our dreams come true.
For the love of God, please.
Beyond the Reach of the Sun by Ancients.
It's definitely always a surprise, to be recognized on a national level. When we're making albums, it's never with thoughts of winning an award in mind, but it obviously is. We're very honored to be recognized.
And Power Nerd by Devin Townsend.
I'm very thrilled for the nomination because it validates all the work that everybody put into it. There's a lot of heart in the Power Nerd record, and I tried to make the aesthetics of it pretty West Coast or Canadian. So it's an honor to be involved with Junos yet again, and I am thrilled to be among the other nominees, all of which I hope win.
The Junos are here in Vancouver on March the 30th. May the best metal band win. And now I'm just gonna go wash my face off. Thanks so much to Megan Zwick for making me scary.
Well, kudos to all the nominees and Lisa for that face paint. And that is your late news for this Saturday. Thank you so much for watching. For news anytime, you can always go to our website, cbc.ca/BC. Have a great night. I'll talk to you tomorrow.